Hello, everyone. The box office sensation Sound of Freedom has really surprised everyone, especially the Hollywood establishment. The movie is the true story of former Department of Homeland Security agent Tim Ballard, who spent his career fighting sex trafficking of children. The movie was actually made 5 years ago by 20th Century Fox, but before it was released to theaters, Disney acquired 20th Century Fox, which gave them the full rights to the movie. But Disney refused to release the picture. Actor Jim Caviezel, who is best known for his role as Jesus in The Passion of the Christ, plays the lead role of Agent Tim Ballard in the film. The executive producer of The Sound of Freedom, who also plays a prominent role in the film, Eduardo Verástegui, became very frustrated with Disney for shelving the movie, and he bought the rights to the film. However, without a vast distribution channel of a major production company, Eduardo, Jim Caviezel, and Tim Ballard lacked the ability to promote and distribute the film. Angel Studios, who has made a significant impact in the entertainment industry with their Fund It Forward series, The Chosen, stepped forward and offered to promote and distribute the film. Several weeks ago, I received a phone call from someone affiliated with Angel Studios who told me that Jim Caviezel and Tim Ballard wanted to come to D.C. and meet with members of Congress to make them aware of the film and the issue of child sex trafficking. I arranged for a meeting with Jim and Tim and Eduardo and Speaker McCarthy with the idea of showing the movie here at one of the several theaters we have at the Capitol. Speaker McCarthy enthusiastically agreed, and on Tuesday evening, July 25th, we showed the movie to a packed house of members of Congress, staff, and some very special guests. Former Speaker Newt Gingrich and Fox News personality Mark Levin also attended the event. Before the film, there was a dialogue with Jim Caviezel, Tim Ballard, and Eduardo, and several executives from the Angel Studios also attended. The showing was a great success and has left an impact on Congress with a renewed vision to stop sex trafficking. If you haven't seen the movie, I encourage you to go see it while it's still at the theaters. Another issue I want to address is some of the concerns about an amendment to the Federal Aviation Administration bill that came before the House last week. The FAA reauthorization bill is where Congress establishes the powers and the authority of the FAA. One of the proposed amendments was to give the FAA the authority to force airlines to rehire pilots who may have been fired because they wouldn't take the COVID vaccine. Now, while this amendment sounds good on the surface, it really opens a Pandora's box of expanding federal government powers. I've been a strong advocate of reducing the scope and the size of the federal government, and I believe the federal government has too much power. And we're experiencing now the fact that the government will inevitably abuse any power that it's given. While the FAA did force passengers to wear masks while traveling, the FAA didn't force pilots to take the vaccine. That was a decision that was made by each individual airline. You see, the FAA did not have the authority to force vaccinations, so they left that to the airlines. And some airlines chose not to force their pilots to take the vaccination. I believe the airlines should have never had the power to force any employee to take a vaccination, and the pilots that wouldn't take the vaccination should have never been fired, and those that were fired should be rehired. But extending the power to the federal government to force a business as to who they will hire or fire sets a very bad precedent. This amount of power would undoubtedly be abused in the future and used to force businesses to hire who the government wants employed, not who the business believes is best for their customer. That is the sole reason why I oppose this amendment. As we continue in our fight to restore a nation that is free, safe, and full of opportunity, we cannot take our eyes off our core principles of a limited government that is constrained by our Constitution. This means we have to resist the temptation to extend more power to the government, even if it is to accomplish things that we like, especially when there are other ways to accomplish the same thing. God bless you. And may God bless America.